First off, tell us your name and how to spell it. It's a test. No,
And tell me your what?
your name
Well, Lorraine
and,
Peterson.
and how do you spell it?
Which both? Both or one?
Both. So we get it
Okay.
right when we
Okay.
put your name.
Capital Lorraine, capital Peterson.
If it's on the tape, that way later on, like someone can't say, "Well, it was spelled wrong on a piece of paper."
That's
Get it
good.
right.
The only thing is that going to show when the tape is run?
No,
the
no,
name?
we're going to cut.
Well, because I was going to say otherwise maybe you needed my maiden name in there for the class that I was in.
Oh,
or
well,
something.
what's your maiden name? That's
Brander, capital Brander,
Okay.
class of 46.
Class of 46.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about your association with BV at the time of the fire. What were you doing? You were an alum, obviously.
Yes, and I was on the alumni board. And just 2 weeks before, we had had a meeting at our place. We were getting ready to have the fall drive for funds, and we were trying to think of a gimmick that we could use that would help people be interested so that we could get money for the college, just 2 weeks before.
And as it turned out, you didn't need to worry about having.
Well, no, we didn't need a gimmick. And by the way, Old Main was drawn up in my living room. The architect came from Fort Dodge, and the builder owned and built my home, and he had him come, and it was drawn up in my living room.
So a historic place.
Yes, very historic.
Tell us about your, when you came to school here and what it was like being a student and what Old Main meant as sort of the center of the campus.
Well, first of all, I had lived here since I was 4 years old, and the building itself to me was like a beacon or a fortress or something, just begging me to come, because I wanted a higher education. And so I enrolled in the fall of 42 and loved it, loved every minute of it. I was respected and enjoyed all the students, the teachers, and it was a wonderful place. It was a very small college, and after the first semester it was even smaller because all the GIs went to service.
What about the place of BV in the community and sort of Old Main again?
Well, not a lot of the Storm Lake students went to BV those days. And of course, a lot of students were from the business people's families, and they sent them out of town. But I was just very happy to be here.
What were you doing at the time that Old Main burned, and what was going on? Tell us.
Well, I'm going to preface this first so you get an idea. I was the mother of a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, so I was busy every day. We had just bought the house that we're in about 2 years before, and we were busy remodeling, so when I went to bed, I slept. And at that time, we still had the old fire whistle that would blow every time there was a fire, and we slept right through it. It was a nice evening, and the windows were all open. And not only that, the fire trucks from Newell came, and they went right up Lake Avenue. Our home is a half a block away, and never even heard that. So I heard it the next morning on the radio.
And what was your reaction when you heard about it?
Well, this can't be true, because Buena Vista, Old Main is invincible, and that fortress on the hill that just it was like somebody hit you. It was very hard to take.
Did you go over to campus that day?
Oh, of course I went over as soon as I got my kids to school.
And tell me describe what it was like.
I came down 3rd Street, and as I came around the corner there was this building. The total building was there, but of course the glass was out of the windows, the roof was off, and it was putting it in the truth was there. There is the building. It did burn. And so I came up and walked around and looked up at the building all around. And there was one thing that really did impress me, was the fact that not one single brick fell. Now that was a 3-story building with a basement, and not one brick fell. And those bricks had been made in Storm Lake by the man that built my home and built Old Main. And I was very proud to think that his work still remained strong and invincible, just like Old Main felt like, well, you may burn my insides out, but I'm not going to give in, you know. And everybody, it was just, I just couldn't believe it. Just couldn't believe it. And the stories that came out about how the students were all rallying around Jack Fisher the night before, taking things out, and about a big desk that took 4 or 5 to bring into the school just a few days before. 2 of them carried it out. And things like this, you know, it was, well, I can't tell you, it was like losing a friend.
Old Main, you describe Old Main as sort of being a fortress. It was a tall building.
Yes.
And
3 stories plus a basement that was partially above ground.
What I don't know, what were people's thoughts about Old Main before it burned? I mean, it was already a...
We revered it. We loved it. We took care of it. When I was in school, we had a group called the Beaver Hall group, and we ran the little restaurant that was down there, which didn't serve much. But we helped keep BV clean when we needed to. Or the Old Main. We respected it. Truly respected our building. We loved it.
Let me interrupt